Hi, I'm Dana Obleman, creator of the Sleep Sense program. This week's question comes from Elise, and she writes, Josh used to sleep in his cot through the night. Then all of a sudden, he wouldn't, and we had to start bringing him to bed with us. Now he won't go back in his cot, and he won't fall asleep unless one of us holds him before laying him down. Help us get back to the old routine. Well, I'm not sure how old Josh is, Elise, but I'm guessing he's around 6 months. And that tends to be an age where a baby becomes much more aware of their environment, much more aware of their sleep strategies. I get clients all the time phoning up around 6 months saying, oh, I used to sleep great and now everything's gone bad. And it usually has to do with how they're getting themselves to sleep at night. And one thing you've mentioned in your question is that you hold him until he falls asleep and then you try to transfer him to the crib. Well, 9 times out of 10 that's just not going to work. Everybody is very aware of their environment when we sleep. So if you fall asleep on the couch and end up in your bed, you're probably going to wake up feeling fairly alarmed. Also, the sense of transferring, they were nice and cozy in your arm and now you're trying to transfer them to the crib. Usually they wake up en route or just a few minutes after they finally get into the crib. So I would just stop doing that altogether. It's not a very effective way to teach a child to sleep well. So again, you're going to start at bedtime, make sure you've got a routine in place that outlines the steps really clearly, maybe a bath, jammies, a feed, then into the crib, awake. So no more holding or rocking him to sleep. And the good news is that Josh used to sleep well, okay? So somewhere in his mind, he knows how to do this. And that tends to make it a little bit easier when you're trying to get a child back on track. He's got those skills, he knows what they are, it's just a matter of pushing him back into the right direction. So into the crib, awake, and then I would suggest you do the stay in the room method that's outlined in the Sleep Sense program, where you're present and you're being supportive, but you're not interfering in his skill development. He's got to learn a new way to get himself to sleep that's independent of being held. And so you can be supportive while he figures those things out. And the same for night wakings, okay? You don't want to at some point decide that he can come to bed with you because that's just going to confuse him. You know, I've had tons of clients who say, well, we won't let him come to bed with us unless it's at least 4 a.m. But you know what you're doing, your child doesn't, and they'll probably just keep waking up at various times through the night wondering if it's time where they get to come to bed with mom. So it really is an all or nothing situation, and if you want him in his crib, that's where he should be spending the entire night. So for night wakings, you'd go in, again you'd pop back into your chair beside his crib, you'd be supportive, and you'd wait him out till he's back to sleep, and gradually working your way out of his bedroom. Okay, so he can do it. You know he can. He used to. So just get him back on track, Elise. Thanks for your question. Sleep well.